Alright, I'd like to talk about the reciprocating saw today. It's a very handy tool. We use it a lot for demolition work and other rough carpentry, rough metalworking tasks. It's kind of an all-purpose saw for just getting something done like roughly. It's not very accurate for the most part, and it's not something that we want to use for our really making things square and even, but sometimes it's just a really necessary tool. So the blade dictates what kind of process you're going to use, and I want to show you how to change the blade on this. I took the battery off first because I don't want to accidentally bump the trigger when I'm changing the blade, but you flip this lever and then the blade comes off, and you can purchase all kinds of different blades for different tasks. So we have a lot of just general purpose metal cutting blades, but there's blades that are designed to cut nails while you're through a 2x4 and all kinds of different blades. So this one's kind of a shorter blade that's good for general purpose cutting. It looks like it's a little past its lifetime. There's some missing teeth on it, some teeth that really aren't that good, so it's probably not going to cut super good for me right now, but it just give me enough to get through this demo. To put the blade back, I'm going to open up this jaw, and then what I'm trying to do here is see that little pinhole. The pinhole is going to lock into the blade. So it has two ways you can put the blade in, and I'm just going to put the blade in going up and down vertical. So now I can put the battery back in. It does go through batteries quite a bit, so you might have to change a couple batteries during the course of your cut because it uses a lot of power. So normally I would make a mark on my piece of where I want to cut, and then I don't care for the noise of this, so I wear some ear gloves, or these are some just press fit earplugs. And then I use a little cutting fluid, so I'm going to put a little cutting fluid on here. And I don't need a ton of speed when I'm doing this. I can use just a moderate speed, but I do need to have this up against the metal that I'm cutting. So this plate right here is going to ride up against the metal and it'll do a better job for me. So I'm going to line that up like this. I'm going to start a little bit slow so it doesn't jump around. Okay, so you don't need a ton of force. I'm not pushing super hard down. I'm just letting the saw do the work. When I get to the middle of this, like right here, it's going to take a little while to cut through, and then it's going to go faster. So I can increase the speed a little as I make my way through the piece of metal. So right here, it's going to take a little while to cut through it, and then it's going to go faster. So I can increase my RPMs of the saw a little bit. And then when I get down here, it's gonna slow up a little bit again as I complete my cut. But you can see, like, it's more of a how good you are with the tool, how well it cuts, and how well the blade is. So if you have a really good blade and you're pretty skilled, you could pull off some pretty good cuts with this thing actually. But if you haven't used it very much, you might need to practice a little bit to get good at it. So they make blades that you could put on here to go cut a Christmas tree down. All kinds of different blades you can get for this. So I'd really look at some of the different blades. It also has a trigger safety lock, so when you're not using it, you should push that on, and that way someone doesn't accidentally use it. So now I can't push in the trigger at all. It's not going to work for me at that point. Okay, if you have any questions about the reciprocating saw, make sure you ask some questions. The street name for this saw, by the way, is Sawzall. So Sawzall was one of the first real popular brands, and it kind of stuck. So a lot of people will be like, hand me the Sawzall, and that's what they might be talking about. But the real name is reciprocating saw.